Hi, and welcome to Women's Radio 2. I am very, very happy to bring you once again a speaker that's been coming to us several times and with great news. He's leading two wonderful programs that we'll tell you about, and he is a world-renowned speaker and a coach of speakers. So I'm very, very happy to have back with us Joe Pici. Welcome, Joe.
Hey Pat, welcome. I'm so excited to be back, and I've got great content today for your audience.
I know, you know what? I'll say one thing. You're never at a loss for words.
Well, my dad said when I was a kid, "Someday, Joe, you're going to make money with that mouth," and
That's
he
right.
was right.
Well, where would you like to start? I know you've
Let
got,
me just let me just kick it off and tell you
okay,
what we're going to talk about today. The first time I was with you, we talked about sales and the importance of it and the
right?
non-negotiables. Second time, we really built out some ideas for people that were in the business of speaking, training, coaching, and consulting, and talking about monetization of that. But today, I'm going to be talking about how you can build out your own professional growth and development program.
Interesting. Now, what do you mean by growth and development? Are these people helping other people grow and develop,
No,
or?
this is about what you can do for yourself. In other
Oh,
words,
wonderful.
no matter what age you are, no matter what industry you're in, no matter how much experience you have, there's always room to get better. There's always room for growth. There's always a way to get a competitive edge. So I'm going to give you
I
some
love that.
ideas today. What are some of the steps you can take so you don't spend money in the wrong places?
Amen.
And I think we've all done that. So let's get started. I
Okay,
think the
great.
first thing we should do whenever we're thinking about professional or personal growth and development, we need to do a self assessment. Okay? And I would recommend something that I do continuously is I take out an old SWAT analysis and I literally look at what are my strengths in my strategies and skills and delivery. So, what do I do very well? Then, where are the gaps? What are my weaknesses? Where do I need to improve? So that's the second part of the SWOT. The third part is what are potential opportunities that are in front of me? And this could be opportunities of new verticals, uh, new trainings, new coachings, new target markets, or it could be some potential training and coaching that I could take part of that'll help me get better. And the last one are the threats. What are the threats to my business? What are the threats to what am I doing? I mean, none of us knew COVID was coming years ago. So that would not have been on your SWOT analysis. Okay? But we all knew this in a SWOT analysis. Your number one threat are your competitors. So the first step in determining what should I endeavor on, what should I invest my time and or money in getting better at is to do the SWOT analysis. Now the second thing we should do is to sit down and set some smart goals about where we want to go. So in other words, this is a time of year that people are thinking about finishing strong, starting fast. Okay, we're right at the end of September. We're getting ready to go into quarter four. So, what are the things I can start learning, getting better at, setting goals to finish my year strong so I can kick off and have a great year in 2026? So, your SMART goals might be in the area of revenue. Okay, it might be in the area of knowledge. It might be in the area of skill development. It might be in the area of looking at your business model, your strategy, your go to market strategy. So now you set some goals to that end. Once you have that in place, now it's what opportunities are out there for me to get better. In other words, What are the things I need to get better at? And who are the experts or the people that are in the field executing what I need to get better at so I can learn from them? Are there seminars? Are there workshops? Are there podcasts? Are there radio shows? I mean, your show is a plethora of information. Okay, people don't go on your show for a waste of time. So
Really, that's so true.
it's a place that they could have professional growth.
Right.
So you want to really look at some potential opportunities. Now, before I get into how you choose those, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Pat, for any interaction or questions you might have.
Well, I think, this is such actually everything that you're doing and everything you're about to talk about is coming at the right time. I think too many people wait, that they just try and get through the year, work at whatever they're doing already as hard as they can, and then wait for the holidays to come to lean back and take a breath and then begin to contemplate what they want to do for the next year. But I think that your method is really right on. I think now is the perfect time because now we're actually going into the growth part of most businesses. This is really a hot time for most businesses. Maybe there's some that it's not their peak time. Sometimes that comes in January. But for most people, this is it. And they don't have people like you coming around their door every day knocking and saying, "Hey, I've got some great training. It'd be just the right time for you." But I think that may be indeed what I would share with someone, that this is the perfect time to consider the things that you're offering. And most people, no matter what their business is, are going to involve sales. And some people want to put, the cross up when you say sales. But I think that it's time that we all look at, like someone said, nothing gets sold. Nothing is just bought. It has to get sold by somebody. So whether you're just offering it out on a table outside of a shop, or whether it's talking with someone and doing all the right things and the techniques to alert them to the opportunities and ask them the right questions and so forth. It's a great time to be really honing your skills and deciding on how you're going to take it further.
Yeah, and it could be things like, do I need to get better in technology? Do I need to understand AI better? Okay. Do I need to polish up on how I'm using LinkedIn? Do I need to get better in my lead generation program? Do I need to get better at getting in front of decision makers?
So are
Okay.
you going to be covering all of those wonderful points?
Well, I think this is where people have to do their research as to the opportunities. And let's get to the opportunities section of the SWOT analysis.
Okay.
So, this is the time of year that people need to do their research on where they could go or who they could work with they're going to fill in those gaps. I was on the phone with a gentleman yesterday, and so I was doing my discovery with him, and he said, Joe, he said, I've been in speaking a long time, but I don't seem to get paid very well, and if at all. And, I just don't know how to make money in such a great profession. And so after we went through it, I explained what we cover in our Business of Speaking Training Boot Camp. And he said, that's exactly what I need. And then I said, when would you like to execute? And he says, well, when's your next one? They always say that. And I said, well, that depends on when you want to start making money. If you'd like to start making money in the beginning of the next fiscal year, you come to our October boot camp. If you're not in a hurry and you're really not looking to make money to say late 26, you can come to our April boot camp. He goes, you make decision making very simple. I said, well, decision making is simple, not easy. I said, because whenever you're looking at professional growth, it is going to cost you time and money. And let me caution each and every person listening, Because no matter where you live, your city has boatloads of free training. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I would recommend you vet the trainer or the coach or the speaker just like you're paying them a lot of money because you're renting out your mind. And
And you're
so,
taking your time,
yeah, and your
and you're going to
time, you're
take more
giving
time
your
to learn.
time.
Yeah.
But if you don't vet them seriously just because it's free, it could cost you a lot of money in the long run.
And people don't realize that. I mean, you really need to know who you're listening to and talking with,
And
which is
so,
why I'm so happy you've been on the program several times. It's certainly given people an opportunity to get to know you, to listen to what you say, how you say it, the things that you know, what people need to know, etc. So I hope that it's given a lot of people an opportunity to get to know you and help them move forward.
yeah, and if they'd like to get to know me personally, I won't sell them. If they just want a complimentary cup of Joe, they can call me at 407-947-2590. I'll answer your questions. But now let's talk about how do you vet. Let's say you decide
Okay.
you're going to go to a training. Let's say you decide you're going to hire a coach. Here's a couple things you can do. Number one, get references.
Great idea.
Okay, ask them who they've trained or coached in the past and get their permission, okay, that you can call them and find out, did they receive return on investment? Very important. Read their testimonials. It's very important. And see what the testimonials are saying. What you don't want to hear is they were a great speaker. That's not what you're paying for. You're not paying for a great speaker. You're paying for the results of what training and coaching and speaking can do for you.
Absolutely.
So you want to look for quantifiable results. That's why it's so important that you know exactly what you want from the trainer or coach or podcast. So you look at that very carefully. Then you you ask very pointed questions to the trainer or the coach before you hire them. In other words, you ask them exactly what they're going to do with you and what the training entails. Now, they're not going to teach you the training over the phone. That's for the training room or the coaching room. But what they can do is say exactly what they're going to cover, how they're going to cover it, and what you can expect in the way of results. And then when you call those testimonials or those people that you've asked permission for, you can be very specific about the goals. You also want to say, how much contact can I have with you after the training?
Oh, that's great.
All right. In other words, after you've invested your time and money with them, are they accessible to you? Will they answer your questions? Do they have ongoing programs? So, is there follow up to what you've invested in? These are all really good questions. So, Pat, I'm going to kick it back to you. And let's say you were researching what would be important to you to ask a trainer or a coach.
I think the things that you pointed out are the most important. I think that people need to point out the successes that they've had with people. Now, nobody wants to sit and listen to people just go on and on and on. We did this and that, and we talked to the, we helped this person, and this is what they. You need some of that. You also, I think, in some cases, need to talk about the quantity of people that you have taught, because not that quantity makes you
Great
good,
question.
but it certainly says you didn't talk to that many people without probably having been referred and other people talking you up, as it were, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that it's good to get all the information you can about the results that other people feel that they got. So I think that and I think both are very important. The things that you find that you want to offer out to people, and the things that you need to research to find out um, what people's real experience was.
Right. Well, and then how long have you been doing this? What was your background? I mean, you want to know what their background is. What give you don't want to say it this way, but what gives them the right to train or coach you? What experiences do they have? I was reading an article the other day about the consulting world. And one of the concerns some people are having is people are going through college, not able to get a job, they open up consulting. Now, they have some book knowledge, but they've never, ever actually done what they're consulting on. This is where you want to really vet this person. What credibility, what gives them the right to take your hard earned time and money?
Right.
And I know people ask me all the time, Joe, how long you've been doing this? One of the things I tell people is in my sales training, I'll tell them I still sell. Okay. And that's very important
I think
because,
so too.
it's like the day I stop selling, I may not be do sales training because you lose your relevance and you lose that cutting edge of what's going on in the marketplace.
Right.
So don't be afraid. To your audience, I'm saying, Pat, don't be afraid to ask tough questions. You're going to be turning your time and your money over to someone. Make sure they're going to deliver what you need. Okay? Now, here's something else.
And everybody doesn't ask you what you need, which it would be a really good thought on some people's part.
Yeah,
What do you feel is missing for you? What are you really after? And inquire about what you're looking to get out of taking the course.
absolutely. And somebody said something to me the other day, and I said, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've never had to give anybody a refund because I don't sell them. I explain what we do, and if what we do meets their need,
Mhm.
okay, and the timing is right, then we'll work with them. So our 3-day sales boot camp, is very unique because on day 3 we're making real live phone calls to real live clients. So the
Oh,
training
wow,
always
that's
pays for
fantastic.
itself.
Mhm.
Okay. And in our business of speaking, training, coaching, consulting, we've helped people get into the industry. We've helped people that have been in the industry, and we've helped them generate significant income, either full-time or part-time, because we teach them how to generate income doing it. And so we try to make our training and coaching application based. Now, let me explain that. Application based training and coaching is that you're going to be doing some of the things you should be doing after the training and coaching in the training or coaching room.
That's always
Okay?
a big help. Then you feel like you have got some small amount of muscle built up when you go out.
Absolutely. And so we take the hardest part of the industries and we do that in the training room in real time.
I like that.
So they have muscle memory, they've conquered the fears, and they know they can do it because they've had success. So these are all little tips that you're going to want to do, okay, when you invest in training and coaching. Now, I will say this. Let's say, for example, you're going to a workshop, you're going to we call them boot camps, or you're getting ready to do some coaching with a coach, and they give you assignments. Finish the assignments, do the prep,
Amen.
do the homework. Why? This is your investment, okay? And come to the training or coaching prepared that you've done the work. And here's something else. Be transparent and honest with your coach and trainer, because if you give them false information, they're going to give you false coaching and training. They can only train and coach based on honest information.
I want to add something here. I think that it really pays to be prepared when you talk with someone. If you can be prepared, if you can do some homework ahead of time, it really pays if you do whatever pre-assignments you're given and you really, really do them well. Because it's interesting that people are I don't, judging is not a great word, I know, but judging you as you were judging, sizing them up as well. So if you're prepared and they see that you're eager and that you have listened to what they've suggested that you do and you have done it, you actually are more likely not only to get more out of it because you are prepared, but you're probably actually going to get more out of your teacher than you would have
Right.
expected to get.
And make sure you trust this individual, the trainer, the coach, whatever. Okay. Make sure you trust them. And that's really, sometimes trust has to be built over time, but build a trust relationship with them during the coaching and training, and have a strong enough trust relationship with people that after the training or coaching, you can reach out to them.
Exactly, because your relationship isn't going to end when that one coaching session is finished, that one course is finished. These are should be experts in their area, and
Right.
they're not going away. And if you come with that in mind, you're likely to have created a new friend, a new business friend, a person who will keep you in mind when something comes along that fits you perfectly as well.
Exactly. And that's why it's, let's say you sign up for a workshop, okay? And the workshop is a month and a half from now. Pick up the phone, call the trainer, and say, could I get a couple minutes of your time? What could I do? What could I do to get the most out of this training? They want to hear that. I had somebody call me today and they said, Joe, I hear rave reviews about this sales boot camp. Is there anything I can do to make sure I'm ready? And I gave them a list of, okay, here are the things that's going to make this better for you. All right. And so we're building a relationship, and I,
Right.
I work very hard to stay in touch with the people who sign up to build that relationship. So when they walk in the room, because see, I sell to people all over the country to come to our boot camps. I do corporate training, I do private coaching, but let's just talk about our workshops. And sometimes I sign them up, and a workshop may not be for 3 or 4 months. Well, I keep in touch with them and make sure they're doing their work and getting ready for it. But I also know sometimes there's life changes.
Yes, that you don't expect usually.
Right. And so anything could happen. Sometimes they're at a new job. Sometimes they've closed their business. Sometimes they've opened a business. And so I want to be relevant for them. But these are all things when you're looking at this is your professional growth and development program. Take ownership of it. Make sure you're finding the right person that's going to sow knowledge into you. Okay, so I want to open this up to any more questions from you, Pat. You always have a lot of good questions.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very thoughtful. I think we've covered a lot of ground. I think if I were sitting in the audience, I would say, okay, well, tell me when these things are. So I think you should
Well,
leap.
so the sales boot camp, and we only have 2 seats left for sales boot camp. So should you have any desire for information, call me at 407-947-2590, and I'll explain it to you and send you some information. That's October 27, 28, 29 in Orlando, Florida. The hotel where it's held is 2 minutes from the airport, so you get a free shuttle. And then our Business of Speaking, Training, and Coaching Boot Camp is that same week, but it's on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That would be October 30, 31, November 1. They're from 8:30 to 5. Okay, you're not going to be by the pool until after 5. This
But
is
it'll still be warm.
intense training. It's still warm in Florida. And call my number. But I have a free gift for everyone out there. If they'd like a free gift, a free webinar, if you'll take out your cell phone, go to your text area and type in the word Sales Edge. That's one word, SALESEDGE. and you're going to text that to 59925. That'll take you to a Peachy and Peachy link, which will take you to a splash page. Fill out the email. It's going to be sent to you a 45-minute free webinar on
Oh, nice.
sales. Okay?
Well, we'll also put this in the notes that we're going to put up on the site so that people can grab that if they forget or they didn't
Yep.
they didn't get to time to sit down and listen to us. But that's very generous. I think that's a great idea, and you certainly ought to get to know someone if they're putting it out, and then you can listen and take your own mental notes about it. Is this
Mm-hmm.
a style that I feel compatible with? Do I feel like this person knows the very thing I need to learn right now? Just lots of things, and only you really know where you are and where you're going. So
Right. Right. And I've got three words for you when you're vetting this person. They're fresh fruit check.
fresh fruit check.
Fresh
Squeeze them.
fruit check. What that means is this. Is this person better than I am at what I'm asking them to train me in? Second thing, are they doing it now? And third, are they being successful at it?
Those are great questions. Those are really great questions. Yeah, and some people, I'll have to say, they err by overemphasizing how successful they are. But then I wouldn't want anyone that didn't feel a little egotistical about the success that they were achieving.
Exactly. Yep.
So, well, this is wonderful. I have so enjoyed these little sessions. I've learned a lot. I hope other people have. I'm delighted that we can share you and the upcoming events so that people can get the training that they need and deserve, and
Mhm.
we can all move forward faster. That would
And
be
anybody that comes from your show, all they have to do is Pat sent me, and I'll give them $500 discount off the trainings.
all right, folks. You heard it. So if $500 means something to you, and it certainly means something to me, mention my name. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Joe. This has been a real
Thank
pleasure.
you.
I can't wait to the next times that we can do this again. And
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. You too.